On Tuesday, the communities of people living with HIV wore red t-shirts and carried posters with slogans like "Stop Lies, Our Viral Load," 1.6 lives are at risk, and "Stop Killing Our Babies." Doreen Mora Morache from Network of People Living with HIV/AIDS in Kenya, NEFAC, has championed for the rights of those living with the disease for the longest time. With the current ARV stocks out in the country, Mora says that the viral load testing has not been available since January, which now makes it difficult to monitor the amount of virus in the body.
The government keeps saying that there is a shortage of test kits, and we are here to call out the government to ensure that our viral load is tested and ARVs for children are made available, because our children are suffering. We are basically letting down the children of this country. As people living with HIV, it's like the government does not care about us.
The communities of people living with HIV claim that the government is doing little, even after intervening for a long time, and this risks more the health of the children born with the virus as well. For this, they demand the right to health.
Tumekuja hapa kuhimiza serikali yenyewe. We are here with our mothers, we are here with our sons, our daughters, because we want to ask the government to look at this pandemic and epidemic, HIV epidemic, as a family problem, because they are actually taking us to our graves, and they have decided we will not go to our graves when you are still alive. We better stand up here for the kids who are growing, because those kids are innocent na hakuna kitu ambacho wanaulizwa.
In April this year, we visited Benta Golata home in Kibra, and like millions of people living with HIV/AIDS in the country, she was troubled by the news of ARVs shortage due to a then diplomatic row between the government of Kenya and the US Agency for International Development, USAID, which contributed to failure of approval of ARV drugs for distribution.
It has caused mental torture, especially to someone like me. As I told you, I've lived on drugs for the last 20 years, and I've never faced such a dilemma. So, because mental disturbance, like, if you miss like 1 week, you go without getting drugs, what will happen to yourself? Because all opportunistic infection will all come back.
But the alleged drugs held were not released for proper structure in KEMSA, as the government bought some drugs from Global Fund to complement and deal with the shortage, but has not been enough for the millions of people living with the virus.
We are not getting enough drugs, like you get for 2 weeks. Sometimes you don't have bus fare to go to collect your medication from your center where you collect your medication, and therefore we are demanding that we want to get the medication like we used to get, either for 3 months or 6 months. Unless you are sick is when you go to the hospital. But if you are going to pick your medication, you need to have enough stock, which we don't have right now.
We are in the middle of a pandemic, and we are also living with HIV, which is another pandemic. So basically, we are handling two pandemics at the same time. Our viral loads matter to us because that is how we know if we are responding to treatment. And right now, people are worried that if I get COVID and I don't know the level of virus in my blood, I might not make it, I might not survive.
And as a result of shortages and rationing, many Kenyans living with the virus have resorted to skipping doses as they can't afford to go to the clinic every week. Benta Nyipolo recalls well in the year 2000, with their massive deaths of people affected by HIV and AIDS, they marched to the parliament to plead with the legislators calling for more drugs in the country. This was effective and benefited the affected persons. But today, the government has reportedly turned deaf ears to the plight of the communities with little to no interventions.
Sasa ni kwa nini sasa serikali inaenda chini kuturudisha kule tulikotoka? Hiyo ndio malilio yetu. Sababu kuna sasa watoto wale watapitia ile prophylaxis na asipokunywa ile dawa, na sababu maziwa ya mama iko na kiwango kidogo ya virusi, huyu mtoto anaenda kuambukizwa.
They chant with loud voices claiming that the government is prioritizing other needs in the country without minding the 1.6 million lives at risk due to the shortage of the ARVs. Dolly Mirigi for Hope TV, Nairobi.